Hello and welcome to Dice Punks, a tabletop role-playing podcast where we focus on playing full campaigns in less well-known systems. This week, our uneasy alliance of G-Pole people starts investigating an illegal auction in their vicinity. Hello and welcome. I'm Adam, your friendly neighborhood game master, and joining me are...
Hello, I'm Drew, and I'll be playing Cato Burke, law-abiding textbook shop proprietrix. That was hard to say.
Hi, I'm Robin, and I'll be playing Callisto Armitage, but that's officer to you.
I'm Des, and I'll be playing Matchstick, among other names.
Hello, I'm Nick. I will be playing Ing, who is not from Australia, and probably never was.
That probably
I enjoyed the probably.
Yeah.
I just had an idea for a twist.
It could be a double blind. He's programmed deliberately with a bad Australian accent by Australians.
Well, thank you, players. Before we get started, I want to make a quick note up top, one I actually meant to have in the last episode, but I'm going to be making a concerted effort during this campaign to do more frequent and more pronounced character voices and accents. I don't expect to be good at it, but I know the only way to get better at it is to practice, and I hope it will make the dialogue a little more lively when NPCs are involved, and hopefully keep them a little more distinct from each other. But I assure you that I am bad enough at doing accents consistently, especially, that there will probably be some less successful experiments, in which case do invite you to let us know what did and did not work in your opinion so that I can improve and also, limit the damage that I do. So with that little disclaimer out of the way, we won't have any character advancement this time around because this is a largely milestone-based advancement system, and we were just getting started last time. But we do have an in-character recap of last time, courtesy of Ing. Take it away.
Right. How you going? We start our adventure at 5 p.m. on January 2nd in the distant future of 2020. We began our little tale with Cal Armitage responding to a noise complaint. Officer Cal Armitage. She's a kind of a grumpy sort, but once you get to know her, you're probably being extorted by her. So it's you might have been expecting a different ending. In any case, most of our characters, we gathered at the frontispiece, a bookstore that also in the back has some technological services. Some of them are even legal. And I saw the front part much more than I usually do, and hung out front, and Officer Armitage seemed to have some business to discuss with the proprietor. Cal and Cato discussed business along with Gorster, the other employee there, and there's also a young fella, the name of, Byrne, seems to be. And he kept going on about OPSEC, as though we weren't in an empty bookstore among everyone that knew exactly what was going on. So I'm not sure what that was on about, but that's pretty much where we left off. There was somebody that wandered in and started talking about some kind of an auction put on by the Terabyte Boys, which might or might not have anything to do with this job that's going on. And that's that.
Thank you very much, Ing. I think that covered it pretty well, but if there's any particular details our other players would like to contribute, now is a good time.
I mean, if Cato had heard that, they'd be livid at the implication that any of what goes on in the frontispiece is legal. I think the attempt is to sprinkle a soupçon of crime onto every interaction. But
you did sell 48 laws of power to that one customer, and that was definitely a crime.
a crime against, decency. Yeah. Other than that, no notes.
Yeah, well, all right. I think we pick up exactly where we left off. Officer Armitage's Augvert for PSS had gone off at an otherwise slightly tense moment, and Byrne had muted the sound as a gaggle of about 5 G-Pol students were coming in to try and get their books ahead of next week's classes, resuming for the second semester. So my understanding, my memory is that Officer, you were on your way out, and that Cato was going to have his hands full with some customers in just a moment. But if there's anything that we've thought of in the time between last recording and this one that needed to be done before we temporarily went our separate ways, this would be the time to make sure that we do that.
Yeah, well, I can't help but wonder. I came here seeking a job as a drone operator, and everyone's talking in circles and around things so much that I'm concerned that he thinks that I just applied to be stock the shelves at the bookstore. So time will tell, I guess. But yeah, I guess I'm just hanging out until somebody says something that's not obscure.
You're going to be waiting a while.
Good luck.
So the students coming in sort of see Officer Armitage and quiet down and sort of step into 2 rows on either side of the door, getting out of the kind officer's way, and just kind of like waiting in the way that people sometimes do around cops. Cato and Ing are both still in the front. Byrne is still way in the back. And the Augvert clicks off so silently in its audio, in fact, that you can hear the little hologram projector lamp go kind of like an old-fashioned tube TV as it clicks off quietly. But
The begrudging quirk to my lips remains as I shoulder past the students. I probably leave them less space than they would have liked. They've given me plenty.
Yeah.
Doesn't make a difference.
Peak cop behavior, A+. So we'll catch up with you a little bit more in just a moment, Officer Armitage. In the meantime, everyone else is in or near the front of house at the frontispiece. And as soon as the door closes behind Cal, the group of students, all start presenting both Cato and Ing with their textbook lists and reading lists and things. And you spend a few minutes, presumably kind of busy, though not so much so that you can't chat. If you wish to, and of course, Byrne, you can be as aware as you want to be of goings on in the front of house. If you want to try to extend your, surveillance further than that, then in the spirit of ramping up complexity slowly, we will bring to bear the network level and network mood mechanics for extending outside of the networks you have essentially admin control over, because that's kind of part of your unofficial job.
I think I would like to keep eyes, as it were, on the good officer's progression down wherever the good officer seeks to officer.
The good officer seeks to officer, goodness. All right, so the network outside of the frontispiece is a network level of 6. So this is the sort of basic challenge level that is then modified by network mood and your level of access. And of course, whether or not you are trying to remain undetected in your access to this particular
Oh, of course.
network.
Although, isn't that a separate role?
It is, yeah. So you're going to be ghosting here,
Yes.
which is, as the rulebook will say, exactly like a stealth roll, but instead using your hacking skill.
It's a separate skill. I have ghosting.
Oh, well, thank you. My mistake. Yeah, you'll roll that.
My ghosting and my hacking are both at a total of +3 between the action and generic specialties.
Marvelous. So that'll be 2d6 plus
2d6
your
plus
clever,
and then 3. So 2d6 plus 6. For the hacking, that is a total of 14.
All right.
And for the ghosting, that is 16.
All right. Well, both of those well exceed what you need in order to remain undetected and keep the network indifferent to you. So you are able to, as you were able to previously, sort of just monitor the various more public and infrastructural surveillance devices. And we will circle back to you around the same time that we circle back to Officer Armitage. Kato, Ing. Inside the front of the frontispiece, you are dealing with customers.
The tragic necessity of business.
Can't live with them, can't live without them. I think, if there's nothing especially difficult in their orders, we are helping them out. We are sussing them out. And at some point when I can take Ing aside just slightly, I say, so how long have you known the officer?
Yeah, well, we met at the university, and I'd say it's been about 3 months since I first met her, and got to know a little bit better over the last month or so.
And she hasn't asked you to do anything, coppish?
We don't talk about that. No. Coppish. You mean, am I a narc? Or are you talking about generating some extra revenue for the good officer?
Well, narc is your word, not mine, but your relationship hasn't been professional, it sounds like.
Oh, no, nothing like that. Yeah, why? You know something that I should know?
I know a lot of things a lot of people should know, but at the moment, I'm sort of more concerned with what you don't know, or I guess how you could not know that, what she gets up to, which is, coppish.
Yeah, well, coppish is a good word for it. It's cop adjacent.
I love how close coppish is to capiche.
There's a rap in there somewhere. Yeah, no one here is maybe the right person to bring it into reality.
Yeah, and how about you? Have you known the good officer for long?
Our relationship is professional. For a while now, yeah. It's mutually beneficial, I think.
Yeah, well, I'd imagine so. I mean, I didn't know that Officer Armitage frequented this establishment. I was a bit surprised.
A great lover of knowledge.
Full of surprises, that one.
Your communicators, phones, whatever, both ping with a great love of the fruits of knowledge.
I check my phone. Oh. Speaking of which, Kato, just between us, the young hacker, or the young computer of computer things, Is he as good at OBSEC as he seems to claim?
Keeps me out of trouble, which is no small feat.
All right. And if I were to hire the young person for a job, is that something that I would arrange through you or through the individual themselves?
Well, I couldn't control them entirely if I tried, but would be good if we all kept it in the family, as it were.
All right. Simple delivery of an electronic package, without tracing back to me.
I simply let that hang there for a moment, as though I'm very confident Byrne is listening and formulating a response.
The bonus is that the package is completely legal. I mean, bonus. It's
I make a face like
above
I've just
board.
tasted something sour, but you're not interrupting.
So why can't it be traced back to you? This again over comms.
Oh, that's an excellent question. Is it necessary in order to perform the job?
The why is often related to the who, so it may be
And the how.
necessary to perform the job well.
Yeah, it's the distinction between at all and well, as the proprietor so excellently put it. Alternatively, what is the nature of the legal package so that I don't have to look into it myself and thereby breach your hopes of confidentiality?
Yes, the confidentiality bit is important to me. It is a voice message that I'd like to get to a particular individual.
That sounds extremely achievable, in principle. I say this as I'm passing someone a textbook on applied cybernetics. At
In theory,
exorbitant,
theory
but
and
not
practice are the
exorbitantly
same.
exorbitant expense. Please continue.
So
But
average college bookstore.
Indeed. Extortionate in the normal way.
But in practice, theory and practice are always, there's a gulf. So what is keeping you from leaving this voicemail on this person's voicemail?
I'd rather not answer that in full. But I would like to conceal the point of origin for this particular voicemail. And
Right, so I guess we're playing 20 fucking questions.
yes, well, the data
is
is rather mundane, but I would like it to be hidden from God himself, if that makes things clear.
So I'm smuggling a voicemail onto somebody's system in such a way as they will not notice it either?
No. I would like the intended recipient to receive the message, but not be able to trace it back to the L5.
Recipient, yes. God, no. Try to keep up.
I'm trying to clarify these things, Kato. You get sort of the verbal impression of being patted on the head by someone shorter than you.
I once again respond not with an emoji, but with an emoticon. It's got devil horns on it.
You get the text equivalent of an eye roll.
Neither the first nor the last. I go back to helping students.
So the recipient is not on L5? Not on Grand Cross?
No, terrestrial.
Adam,
Mm-hmm.
Point of knowledge clarification.
Mm-hmm.
One, would I have to roll to know this? And two, how much does it complicate my life to deliver something untraceably, data package-wise, off Grand Cross?
It is somewhat more complicated, but it's not immensely.
So it's
more
within the realm of
complicated.
feasible, but also within the realm of annoying?
Yeah, that's a pretty good way of putting it. Basically, yes, it is hard to disguise the origin of traffic from Grand Cross as being from elsewhere, but also there is a tremendous volume of such traffic because, Earth and Grand Cross do share an internet. It's just a matter of like being able to spoof the right points of origin to fool somebody into looking at it and saying, oh, this came from elsewhere, when it is the case that like there are only a handful of major information conduits off the station.
Where were you before Grand Cross? This is necessary. Or rather, where would this person have thought you were?
I withdraw my request. That, I think, would require a greater level of familiarity between you and I. We could circle back around later, if that is absolutely essential. If you just need a country, I can give it. Actually,
the country is necessary, but also, like, in the interests of easing your ability to interact with the illegal side of literally everything, come in prepared. Know what you're willing to say. Know what needs to be explained in order to do the task, because I still don't have enough to do the task. I need to know the name and location of the recipient, which we haven't even gotten to. But
sure, yeah, I'm willing to tell you the name, location,
right,
and
but
the
currently
recipient.
it's an open question as to whether or not this deal will conclude at all. Because it took 5 minutes of questioning to get to the fact that this is an off-station affair.
Sure.
So there are times to be circuitous about things, and there are times to be straightforward, and part of survival is knowing which is which.
I don't know what information you need in order to complete the task, so I relied upon you to ask the questions that you asked, and I refused to give the answers that I'm not willing to give. If that means the task can't be completed, that's fine.
Fair.
I'm selling someone a book for a rhetoric class. Let's say it's Cicero. I chuckle.
It would be.
I do appreciate the consult, and willing to owe you a small favor for that.
No favor necessary. We'll be working, I suspect, if not together, then adjacently. And it's not as if I went terribly out of my way to fail to get any interesting information here.
All right.
So this is probably a good time to overlap this conversation. Cal, what have you been up to since you left the bookstore?
Well, first and foremost, I sent a text to Officer Ramirez asking him to pull any records he has on the Terabyte Boys and send them my way, off the record, of course. Also, Jorma seems like a really unique name, so I have him reference it against the G-Poll student body and see if I can pull up anything on Jorma as well.
And while you are doing this, are you heading anywhere in particular?
I'm going to swing back around Gottlieb's again, I think, and make sure they're not making a ruckus, because I would hate to be doing something off the record while I'm officially supposed to be patrolling.
Fortunately, they have the door closed. And as you approach, you can hear some of the music from within, but it is not at the levels that it was when you first went in. As for...
I still whoop whoop with my siren as I drive by to remind them of the necessity of keeping the volume down.
Oh, yeah. Oh, Lord.
I record the video end the audio and save it to some place where I can use it for annoying purposes later.
So, it doesn't take Officer Ramirez very long to send you essentially an email, the text of which consists of a winky face and some files that are definitely not supposed to be sent via email from the university's like student data. In fact, there is only one Jorma at GPOL. You're right that it is not a particularly common name, though his student file is not extremely helpful. You do get his schedule, his 3.1 GPA. Classes haven't started yet, but come a week from this, the day that you're on, come the 9th, they'll be in classes, and then it might prove more helpful. No disciplinary action, no criminal record, no particular note of Jorma, but you do get an ID card picture, the schedule, transcript, in fact, along with GPA, and yeah, I'm going to decide that Jorma lives in dorms, so you actually also know where you can find Jorma.
Dorma.
If he happens to be in his dorm room.
What floor is he on?
Writing out the Storma.
I almost wrote Dorma in my notes because of this entire thing.
Doing his chormas.
And his pajamas.
Oh, I love that one. That warms my heart.
Adam is going to kill us all.
No, I just put in a marker in case I decide that I hate this enough to edit it out.
I hope you don't. Our listeners will love it.
Yeah.
Hate it enough to make it the entirety of a Peaks. Just that.
So, that's probably coverage of most of what it took to have the conversation, since the walk takes a minute. But you do get some information, and by this point, the negotiation between Ing and Byrne is pretty much over, and also the students that had come in have been helped and have left. Now, as always, I leave the door open for further, sort of real-time conversation, should we desire for it to happen. But we can also kind of start doing a little bit of fast forward here if we need to. Cal.
Anything about the Terabyte boys from Ramirez?
Thank you for the reminder. Yeah, I got a little bit distracted and sidetracked there.
By the
Terabyte
Jormas.
boys, yes. The Terabyte boys are an interesting case because their home turf is not super close to, well, I mean, it's not on Turing Ward at all. But the information that PSS has them basically like at the beginning of this current school year, starting to just sell small-time contraband around GPOL, and apparently doing quite well with it, because in the words of one officer who was asked for comment and whose comments made it into the file, they're not super threatening, to the sensibilities of GPOL students. It's relatively easy to buy contraband prescription medication from them without feeling like you're getting in over your head. If they are in fact behind this black market tech auction, this is
that was not
up
me.
to be this is shaping up to be the most significant criminal thing they've gotten up to near G-Pole.
Interesting.
If this is jumping the gun, say so, obviously. But what do I know about the Terabyte Boys? Is that a role for prior knowledge or assets or something like that, or is it something I might just kind of know since I'm criminal underworld connected?
Great question. Let me.
Same question. Obvious differences are obvious.
Sure. Yeah. If Kato, if you would roll your criminal underworld specialties, that's gonna be 2d6 plus your 2 for criminal underworld, plus your 2 for clever.
Oh, cool. And that's not plus 2d6. That's just plus 2, plus 4 total on top of
Right.
whatever I
Plus
roll.
4 total
Cool.
to your roll. Yeah.
Well, the roll's a 3, so it's good we have some headroom there. So that's a total of 7.
You've heard the name. That's kind of all you got.
All right.
So, Burn, I'm thinking here that you're just going to be getting a straight clever roll. So 2d6 plus 3.
That's a 13.
So, the Terabyte Boys, you've definitely come across the name before, but you remember not caring when you came across the name. So, Burn, you are struggling to remember anything about the Terabyte Boys because you did sort of write them off wherever you originally heard about them. But they're somewhere in Adam's ward, and you don't remember the specifics of the incident that you read about, but it was something kind of embarrassing for them involving like disrupting a like pride event. And if you remember correctly, there was initial speculation that it was like a hate crime kind of thing, but it turned out later that they were actually just like confused about the local schedule and like did whatever thing at the wrong time or something, and they came out of it looking real head-assed.
Okay. So, general overtones of they're not competent to be the ones in charge of this.
You almost hope they're not.
I will pass along that warning.
I'm
That is
assuming
to Kato.
To Kato, yeah. Okay, good deal.
Okay.
So that's the extent of your certain knowledge about the Terabyte Boys. At this point, if there is specific real-time conversation or action that needs to happen on anybody's part, that's fine. But if there isn't, we can start to announce our broad intentions for the, sort of investigation and preparation parts of the proposed joint operation, so to speak.
Well, I think because Ing isn't part of the operation, he'll go back to his apartment and read some philosophy and or religion, and then maybe reach out to the chaplain with some questions.
Quick point, Kato. Last session, you had told Ing that he was hired, but as he pointed out this session, the thing that he was hired for was a little bit ambiguous. Do you attempt to formalize anything or give Ing any money before he heads out?
Yes, I think both. I think I make it clear that what he did today was appreciated. And I think I explicitly ask, so was this the job you thought you were signing up for?
I must admit there's less drones involved in this business that I was anticipating. But I do have 2 perfectly functional arms, and I can, well, 3. But I can stock books with the rest of them. So I mean, money is money. But my skill set might be in higher demand.
When you say 3, I do a classic, trying not to look like I'm checking you out while looking you up and down, kind of a maneuver. I do not notice that
comma platonically.
Yes, indeed. I am looking respectfully, if you will. I say, well, yeah, fair enough. This may not have been the perfect use of your skill set, but we compensate labor around here. So I do pay Ing what his time would have been worth today.
Mhm.
Not being sure what tomorrow is going to bring, I go ahead and cash him out.
Sure, and I'll go ahead and take this opportunity to point out that we are going to use credits as, like, the cash denomination here when appropriate. But of course, money is pretty abstracted in this system, so you hand over credits that are sufficient for you to increase your cash on hand by 1. I believe that's probably going to put you at 1 cash.
Yes, I currently, since we haven't gained much, that now does put me from nothing to 1 cash.
And for our listeners who may or may not remember this, your economic situation is measured in essentially 2 things: your economic burden, which is sort of like your long-term financial outlook, and cash, which is sort of your temporary, like, spending money on hand. So, you've got a little bit of that now.
You don't have no cash. I also send Burn a quick message, and it begins with an ellipsis and then says, "Do we want him in on this?"
You get the open mouth, shut mouth sigh in digital pictographic form. I've decided that Matchstick is extremely good at ASCII art.
Sure. I'm jealous, honestly.
Yeah.
At least to the degree that one can be without putting a specialization level in it.
Sure.
But about 15 seconds later, at a minimum, it'll be good leverage against the good officer. I'm uncertain on the reliability of his ability to not talk. Sorry, point of order. Pronouns he, him, yes, Nick?
For the time being, yes.
Cool, thank you. But having no sense of his abilities, a body's a body, question mark?
I take that
For given
a little
values
personally.
of bodies, of course.
Sure.
Boss.
Before you go, Ing, or rather, maybe instead of going, are you interested in some overtime? There could be more drones involved.
Yeah, I think my little friends are ready to go. Certainly. What else would I need to know?
Well, we're trying to recover something potentially dangerous from some people who aren't dangerous except for having it.
Point of order. Where are you all in the shop at this point?
I think we're in the front, but we've locked up. Is that what we established?
Okay.
Sounds about right. Mm-hmm.
We wouldn't be having this conversation in front of the textbook kids, funny as that would be.
Yeah, absolutely. That sounds
once
right.
Once the locks do get thrown home, I might as well come out physically.
Mm. So you've entered the room?
Yeah.
Just before you do, I say, now don't be alarmed. They exist.
And have I encountered you in person before? I have
You
dropped
have
by the store
absolutely
before.
not.
Okay. Uh, right. Well, good to meet you in person.
Likewise.
And now that that's out of the way, any specialized gear or preparations that would be appropriate? Is this more of a recon operation or
Recon extraction. We need to get something from them that they're probably not going to want to give up, but I wouldn't imagine, well, I would hope we're not going to have to fight them. And if we do, it might be quick.
all right?
Yeah, because, such a fucking fighter over here.
All right.
You've got other potentially lethal skills.
Sure. Blackmail, for instance.
I'm really interested in results more than methods.
And this is why we get along.
To be clear, Ing, this is a little bit of an escalation in your employment status. I like you. And what we're going to do, just to be explicit, is illegal. I say it like I'm saying dessert.
Yeah. Well, illegal doesn't mean wrong. So I'm on board. What time should I meet you back? Get more details, unless you want to lay out the plan now.
I think we were sort of planning to depart right away. Point of order, table talk. Is that right? Were we going to go take care of this thing, or were we going to let the sun set on this and make a plan?
Well, you don't actually know when the auction is supposed to take place, or
Right, that's
where
right.
Yeah,
anything
we
is
have
going
no
on.
details. First, we have to
Yeah.
figure out details.
For sure.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So there is an
So we
investigation in order.
indeed.
Yeah.
So we share what we know first of all,
Yep.
and say we should begin planning now.
Also, I
but-
show both of you Officer Whoop Whoop with the video with the noise
with her Fago. Please continue.
with the noise replaced with the Ogvert noise that I have doctored up while I've been bored. And for the listeners, it is imperative to remember that the good officer is indeed on like a moped of some variety. Derogatory.
Moped derogatory.
PSS does not pedal.
It's at least a step above like I'm forgetting one of the
The segues you're thinking?
Yes, thank you.
Yes. I was tempted to go with that, but
Two
much
electric
self-respect.
vehicles. Both alike.
That would have made me hate you for forever, no matter what else you did.
Yeah.
I like it. Well, I snirk when I see your video editing work. The noise would probably specifically be.
That is what a snirk is. Yes.
Yeah. Well, just it's radio. Better to make the snirk than to describe it.
Fair.
Yeah. And yeah, I mean, so I lay out what we know so far, and I say, so we need to investigate. We need to find out when this auction is happening, and we need to win it or make sure this particular piece never makes it to bidding.
Sure. All right. I just need to pick up my drones, and I'm good to go.
Great. I don't know if we need the third arm. That's your business. Explain sometime. It's interesting though.
Yeah.
Third arm.
It's a pet. Maybe if we continue to work together, I'll show you. But
Matchstick nods very slowly in a manner that indicates that their estimation of you has moved one notch towards serial killer.
So-
various and sundry arms are an interest of mine, as you might have noticed. So, yeah, perhaps sometime.
Yeah,
down
boss
the
got
road.
envious of fiddler crabs a couple of years ago.
I mean, they know something we don't.
I imagine that at some point this conversation winds up, goodbyes are said, and people begin to initiate their own investigations. In the meantime, Cal, you have hit the point where unless you can come up with some kind of incident to tide you over into overtime, it is time to clock out, which involves, because your boss is a moron, physically going back to the station in order to, kind of check in your gear and such. If there is anything in particular that you would like to do before having to clock out, this is the time.
I do the bare minimum and then promptly arrive at the station prior to my official clock out time to ensure that I will be gone by the end of my shift.
Officer Ramirez sort of waves to you with a big ol' smile with a little bit of stiffness to it. He's never been the best at subterfuge, but is otherwise a reliable enough sort. And you go and you put your bike, authenticator key on the ring, and you put your fingerprint on the time clock, and you wave to some folks who you work with, but don't bother to know.
I wave to
particularly
Ramirez.
well.
I nod curtly to
Fair
everyone
enough.
else.
Fair enough. As you are passing close enough to Ramirez, he sort of just kind of mutters, "Keep an ear to the ground about the details there," and just gives you sort of like an earnest nod. Ramirez is not the most subtle operator.
I appreciate it, Ramirez.
He gives you a salute that you hope everybody else interprets as sarcastic.
I don't salute back, but just curtly nod again.
And with that, your time is your own.
Well, I don't have much of a social life, so I'm going to head straight back to my apartment.
Yeah. Probably in that case, you might beat your roommate by at least a few minutes, which is
I think I do.
a little unusual, but not unheard of.
Yeah, I do call out hello as I walk through the door, but upon hearing absolute silence, I close it behind me and kind of take stock of the apartment. I do notice that his drones are in disarray. I arrange them in the way that I'm used to seeing them, googly eyes facing outwards. And the particular order that he prefers. I glance at the flesh horticulture, a grimace on my face.
The ring finger twitches minutely.
I love that you just have that as a prop there.
I give it some fish food while trying to avoid eye contact with it. Not that it can make eye contact. It's the begrudging demeanor of someone who does not like cats having to feed said cat.
Right.
Sorry, my brain is occupied by the notion of Nick's pet arms doing like Lady Gaga dance moves.
That's
Exactly.
romance.
Yep. Only if the sodium balance is off.
Yeah, you got a real problem if it's doing those 2 nights in a row.
You glance out of the window. On the one hand, your apartment is supposed to be kind of a nicer one because while it's the same size as most of the others in this block, it has more of a view. But you can't help but notice that the view it has is currently of the side of one of the university outbuildings that has some what you might call like sponsored graffiti on it of NFT art for the indifferent ape on Wii Club. There is a very bored looking ape in a terrible cartoon style staring off to one side, and the words "I'm going ape for gay marriage" spray painted around it. It's not exactly the view you would want.
No.
But it is a view.
It is a view. And something about the ape's expression resonates with me more than I'd like to admit.
Mm-hmm. Shortly after that, you'll arrive back. Our other two bookstore employees, I think mostly live where they work. Correct me if I'm wrong, Kato.
You're not wrong.
So, it's getting into the evening, certainly, on this otherwise mostly unremarkable Thursday. And, the information that you have doesn't specify anything particular in terms of when this auction is supposed to take place, but a sort of common sense assumption would be that it's probably sometime after the close of business on Friday so that people can get to it pretty easy. Which means that you have, most of a day and night for investigation, preparation, whatever you might wish to get up to. So this is an opportunity in mechanical terms, both to, do the narrative stuff of finding out where you need to be and when, but also to accumulate prep. So prep is partially narrative and partially mechanical. You can get personal prep or you can get group prep. They take different time frames under normal circumstances, and they have similar roles where you nominate an ability and a specialty for the type of thing that you're doing to try to secure prep, and then your role determines how much prep you actually generate. So we're going to take it by turns, and I feel like everybody's going to have an opportunity to generate personal prep and, fudging things a little bit, an opportunity to generate group prep.
So, I would like to apply my investigation specialty to tracking down Jorma.
I approve. Let's see. So your investigation specialty is at 2, and we're going to be combining it with, at least in this case, your clever attribute, I assume?
Sounds good to me.
All right. So you're going to roll 2d6, and you're going to add 5, and you're going to let me know what you get.
I got a 3 and a 2, which is 5 on the dice, so I'm adding 5 for 10 total.
That does
Which is
succeed.
enough to get a second.
So you are going to end up with 2 prep from that. So what I'm going to describe here is the broad strokes of your process here. Once you're home and settled in for the evening on Thursday, you do some preliminary poking around and, are able to turn up a little bit here and there, but nothing quite as useful as the dossier that Ramirez sent you. So on Saturday, you do some kind of on the ground work. And you...
Wait, Saturday?
Friday. Thank you for correcting me. The next day on Friday, you do some on the ground work. There's classes still, or gotta correct myself again. Classes haven't started yet, so you can't follow Jorma's schedule, but it's clear that, he's residing in the dorms and you're able to do a little bit of, snooping there. You're
I
able
know
to
where he lives.
talk to a few people who have had some contact with him, and you're able to not exactly tail him long term, but kind of see a couple of the places that he goes and a couple of the people that he associates with. You don't have names, but you've got likenesses and where they were when he talked to them on Friday. So it's a pretty good start for investigating Jorma. One of the things, perhaps the most significant thing that you catch during all of this, is that you see him sort of re-up for a new semester on his supply of Adderall.
Mm-hmm.
He does not go to a pharmacy for it.
Had a hunch.
Whose prep is next?
We each get to roll for group prep.
Yeah, if that was your personal prep, which I was assuming, then
Yes.
We can take it in whatever order we want, for sure. But you will
So do
also
all
get
our
to roll
personal
group
prep and then think group prep, or
that makes as much sense as anything to me. But if it ties into something else that was going on, I don't mind doing it out of order.
I'm good with what Drew suggested.
Well, let me do some similar but not identical personal prep. Let me roll for criminal underworld and ask around to see if someone who is sort of a fixture in the local criminal scene has noticed any of these Johnny-come-lately terabyte boys hanging about in the district.
All right. So your criminal underworld specialty is +2. I feel like in this case, your cool attribute is likely to apply the most, since you're doing some asking around, a little social.
Sure. So that's naturally a +0, but it's +1 because of my criminal background, right? Or no,
Well, you
no,
have that listed under defense, so I'm not 100% sure.
correct.
What
You're totally right. You're totally right. So yeah, that's just whatever the role is, I think, right?
Well, looking under your criminal origin, it says when dealing with criminal acts, people, and things, take +1 on all social rolls. So no, I think it actually does apply. You've just put it in a weird spot.
That sounds like me. Yeah, that sounds like something I would do. I'll put it in a less weird spot. Okay, so roll and add 1. Got it.
3 because of your specialty.
Roll and add 3, like I just said, yeah. That's a natural 6, so that takes it to a 9.
Yeah, as you do receive 1 automatically for personal prep, Cal is going to have 3 with the extent of their success on their personal prep roll, and Kato, you're going to have 2. What is it, broadly speaking, or I guess specified to the degree that you wish, that gives you this personal prep, Kato?
Yeah, I would think I have someone in the neighborhood who I speak to about these kinds of things. Somebody who is probably just a known, maybe petty, maybe not so petty criminal, but the kind of person who would notice these comings and goings. Not someone who is technically in our community per se, in mechanical terms, but somebody who is a known quantity in the neighborhood, stops by the shop, perhaps has to be shooed away from the shop every so often.
Yeah, you actually you kind of stop by a couple of contacts, kind of in the process, but you actually get the most sort of useful input from somebody you probably consider a little bit of a peer. You don't talk to her very often, but where you, with your sort of full body prosthetic, sort of unashamed presentation, and emphasis on the kind of more software side of augmentation, your sort of coin flip inverse in the neighborhood might rightly be said to be Bronwy, who is more on the mechanical and technical side and has much more of a sort of witchy aesthetic than a technological one. You don't deal with her too often, but you know that she has a sort of below board, augmentation business. And you catch her in what is for her a relatively loquacious mood. And it turns out that, she's heard a little bit here and there about the Terabyte boys and has the feeling that whatever's going down is probably going down this evening or in the small hours of the morning on Saturday. So, she does caution you that it's just a hunch, but is also able to, give you some useful additional and contextual information. And as we'll see as we get into spinning the prep, perhaps some other advantages.
Sounds good. I I revel in the moment of camaraderie, and I thank her. And I thank her in as witchy a way as I can muster.
She rolls her eyes, but has a small smile all the same.
Yeah, I'm probably hemming it up. There's probably a lot of fingers splayed as though casting spells. Which, with my fiddler crabbish physique, probably looks less than dignified, but it's the thought that counts. Especially in practical magic.
It's a recurring theme among your characters. It's delightful.
The smaller arms' fingers splay more easily.
The bigger arms' fingers splay more.
Well done.
Who is next to take their personal prep?
I'll take mine.
Mm-hmm.
So, I come home and I'm delighted to find that my my robots are looking quite comfortable. I give Peggy and Tran a little pat on the head, the little motorized head there, and
given your gardening tendencies, that's an important distinction.
Yes. So, they are both my drones. They all have names. So, I would like to look into whether there's any over-the-counter electronics available for surveillance devices. Something where I could wirelessly listen. So, if that's something that would be outside of my price range or unavailable, I do have an alternative prep.
Yeah. Well, I think that you can go ahead and roll, prep for kind of finding that stuff,
Sure.
which I think is going to be, since you're trying to purchase something, your acquire asset, which is at +2. And this feels like a cool use of it, which is also +2. So you're gonna roll 2d6 +4.
Okay. Roll. So I've got a total of 5 on the die. +4 is going to be a total of 9.
All right. So you're going to end up with 2 prep there for the roll itself. And your acquire asset then, you are going to manage to acquire any reasonable asset without a restricted or illegal tag for its sort of list price with that roll.
Okay. I've got 1 cash on hand. Is that enough, or am I out of funds and I should maybe look elsewhere?
Well, that is a great question. So the cost of the equipment you'd like to buy is going to be 2 cash, but you could maybe bring it down to 1 with the right merchant and offer of, favors or IOUs. And as it happens, in your, sort of shopping about, let's say perhaps it happens quite late Friday evening, if that accords with, your, kind of picture of what it is you're actually doing, you might have a particular hit. So I guess, do you feel like you'd be doing this shopping, into the small hours of Friday morning, moving in from Thursday evening?
Yeah, I think that it's important enough that
Mhm.
it's worth staying out if I haven't found what I'm looking for, if there's still a chance of getting it.
Yeah, we'll say you have certainly seen this kind of thing go for cheaper than what you are seeing from like reputable channels, and so you follow a little bit of a hunch, a little bit of like a trained intuition, from prior experience, and you had a little away from the school into the less polished parts of Turing Ward. And you find a little impromptu night market of the type that pop up from time to time in the downtown area of Grand Cross. And sure enough, you have not met the gentleman before who is offering what you need at a negotiable price. But as you sort of spy his impromptu stall, and come up on it, you think you might have found your man. This is a fellow with a sort of medium dark, very wrinkled complexion, and a gray and white beard and unkempt head of hair. He has one old-fashioned false eye that isn't cybernetic in any way, shape, or form. And the other one, the actual eye that he can see from, is pretty bloodshot. He gives you a big smile as he sees you approaching, and he sort of waves to you, the only potential customer he has currently, and says, "Hey, welcome to Crazy Aruru's shop. What can I get for you?"
Right. Well, pleasure to meet you, mate. I'm about to be engaged in some. Well, I've been contracted by the school, university down the way, to record the upcoming commencement speaker. Trying to get some dynamic shots, some live feedback. In any case, I need some recording equipment that I can perhaps even integrate into my drones as part of my campus job. Do you have anything like that, or can you point me in the right direction, perhaps?
"Oh, I have exactly what you need." He is either actually crazy or laying it on really thick, maybe some combination of the two, but you get the feeling it's at least part of his sales pitch. He starts rummaging through the uh, profusion of ill-organized items in front of him, and he says, "The university's always sending me things, sending me people for things. They always buy from Crazy Aruru." When he says his name, he leans his head back as though he's howling at the moon.
All
Eventually,
right.
he pulls a battered, but seemingly still whole, like, caseless is a thing people say about ammunition, so it's not the right word here. But basically, what if you had the kind of hardware you were trying to buy, but it had been pulled out of its plastic or metal housing, and it's just now like kind of a pile of circuits and wires, and in this case, lenses.
Mhm.
And he sort of holds it out to you, and he says, "Best for putting in drones! Best for putting in drones! You know, you know, you know."
Yeah, you got me, mate. You and I, we know that somebody on the street will come by and say this is a piece of junk, but I know what you have. You know what you have. What are you willing to part with it for?
He names an amount that is about 30% more than you've got on your person right now.
Oh, you're breaking my heart. Um, you
He
know,
gives
of course, I'll be reimbursed by the school for this, but that doesn't come till the end of the month, and I've got to have this tonight. Can you part for it for, and then I name 85% of what I've got on me?
The best way you can describe the sound is titters, but he doesn't open his mouth to do it. It's like through his teeth. And he says, in a tone of voice that has nothing to do with an Australian accent, he goes, for a fellow Aussie, I could definitely give you this prime specimen for, and he names almost exactly the amount that you're carrying.
Oh, you drive a hard bargain. But if you're willing to part with this for just a little bit less, we're narrowing down on the right price here. I'd be willing to spread the word amongst the college folk that you've got some really prime stuff here. You know, you scratch my back, I scratch yours.
He crosses his arms very high, like sort of in line with his shoulders, and leans back, looking sort of like down his face at you as he sort of leans his face back parallel to the ground. And he says, "The university folk already come to crazy Aruru, but advertising's advertising. It's yours!" And he throws it 3 feet in the air.
I catch it as gingerly as I can with my metal hands.
You manage a pretty good job of it, honestly. He spins around in a circle, not quite a pirouette, but sort of aiming for one, and says, "Tell all the children to come to Crazy Aruru!" And then ducks down behind his counter as though he expects you to believe that he's not there anymore.
I back off with a half smile on my face that falls into a bit of uncertainty as I'm not quite sure whether he's doing a bit. And I leave.
As you are leaving, you get sympathetic looks from some of the other people who have set up stalls in this area. And one of them catches your eye. She glances over at Aruru and just gives an elaborate shrug as you leave. But you do have some surveillance equipment that you can install on one of your drones. So mission accomplished.
All right.
I believe that leaves Burn for personal prep.
Yeah, so you'd mentioned that we would be able to roll once for personal prep or possibly twice?
Once for personal prep and once for group prep. You just are more likely to get more personal prep out of the deal with the roll thresholds.
Fair. So I think my personal prep then is going to be ghosting myself into as many of the networks as I can, but ghosting rather than hacking.
Okay. So more or less purely observational here without being observed.
Observational, but deliberately obfuscatory.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, so that's going to be, I believe, 2d6 plus 6 for you?
Yep. And that is a 9, so that's 15.
All right, so that's going to be 2
One
additional prep?
3 additional prep?
10, 13.
7, 10, 13.
So the 7 is the one you rolled for. I was saying 2 additional on top of that.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. We are saying the same thing as it happens. Yeah. So 3 prep from that roll.
For a total then of 4.
Right, because you get the 1 just for doing
Yep.
it. Yeah. Mm-hmm. Total of 4 personal prep. So you start sending feelers out through the various networks that you have access to from here, trying to keep a low profile, not push anything too hard, gain any notice. And you do eventually come across some, what I'll call suggestive traffic. Chatter among a very limited number of people.
So this is not investigation. This is just getting myself into as many networks as I can. for later use.
Oh, I see.
I was figuring that
Mhm.
my group prep would be
Gotcha.
the hacking for the actually figuring out.
No, I do like this approach. Yeah, no, I think that works well. Yeah, let's do that.
Because ghosting is as a specialty, ghosting is literally the stealth
right.
portion of hackery.
I think that actually makes your group prep probably the first one that we do, if you don't mind
I am
combining
happy to,
yours and
absolutely,
yeah,
since they are quite complementary
indeed.
in what I'm doing. So, same style of roll, and for me, same mechanics because it's the same stats and the same value of specialty.
Yeah, please do make that 2d6 plus 6 roll.
So that's boxcars, which means that's 18 total.
Woo!
That is
That'll do.
impressive. So
what is the threshold? What are the thresholds? Is it the same breaks for group prep?
Leave it to be. I was just in the process of trying to find my place there, but I believe it to be the same thresholds for group prep.
Nice. I'm a contributing member of, well, not society, but the group.
Yeah, it's every 3 points over 7. The difference is you don't get the 1 just for doing it. So,
but I rolled better.
Right. So that's going to be 10, 13, 16. So you're going to get still 4.
Yep.
Group prep for that. So Mazel tov. That's pretty clutch. So yeah, this is where you start to find some useful patterns in the traffic of a discrete number of folks talking to each other in what appears to be sort of obviously cipher, if not obvious meanings to the cipher, and allows you to get an idea that you may have zeroed in on some of the folks that you'll want to keep an eye on for finding out specifics about this auction. Whose group prep is next?
I don't mind going, because it may require some figuring out.
Certainly.
I imagine that the nature of group prep is that it can be done without necessarily divulging the details of how it was acquired.
Yeah.
Okay. I want to apply classified. And check out what I can find out about the Terabyte Boys in particular through the networks at my disposal.
All right. Well, that specialty is at +1. You think this is a cool or a clever?
I'm leaning more towards clever. Cal does not really concern themselves with cool-headedness and preparation.
Fair enough. So that's going to be 2d6 plus 4.
Okay. Much better roll. 6 and a 2. So 8 plus 4, that's 12.
All right.
Nice.
So you will get 2 group prep. I guess I will leave it to you to describe to the degree that you wish to how it is that you leverage in order to acquire this prep and information as
if you're comfortable with me leaving leveraging the networks to which I have access, then that is where I will leave it.
Okay. So what you actually find will actually hold off until you use some group prep.
Fantastic.
And then you can flash back to what exactly it was that you have done here. I know it's all very secretive currently, but I don't know,
Won't be
I
for long.
find that enjoyable.
Mm-hmm.
So vague prep is vague, but
We got 2 in the pool.
yeah, we do have some for, I believe, a total of 6 group prep now. Kato, any ideas?
I think while I'm out and about criminal underworlding, the other thing that I do, in addition to trying to get information for myself, is just sort of spread a little bit of discontent about the Terabyte Boys moving in on other people's territory, such that if a fight breaks out, the ambient criminal element would be unlikely to take their side and maybe even relatively likely to take ours.
All right. Excuse me. Trying to decide. I guess this does sort of make the most sense as criminal underworld, and group prep can overlap with personal prep in that way. So if you agree, about the role being your criminal underworld specialty,
Yeah, sounds good.
We'll add 3 to your 2d6.
Cool. Finally, a decent-ish roll. That is a natural 7 plus 3 is 10.
Okay. So you will add 2 group prep to the pool for having essentially poisoned the well against the Terabyte Boys.
It is an ancient gambit known as, hey, fuck these guys.
So, a question for the Master of Games.
Speak.
As
Thank
distinct
you,
from
my
the
lord.
Master of Puppets.
Right.
And certainly distinct from Pastor of Muppets, yes.
So, in our world, there are kind of public drop boxes for sending mail and things like that.
Sure.
Is there similar in orbit, or is there a different kind of a system there? I guess I'm thinking, could I get, kind of pre-addressed, padded envelope, address it to the frontispiece, and be able to then kind of drop what we have in the public mail system if we want to not have it on us?
Yes. I will have to give
In
some thought
preparation.
as to exactly what the nature of just public post office boxes and
Because
mail
there
drops
is
are.
neither rain nor hail nor dark of night.
Nothing stops these post people.
There isn't any hail, but there is occasionally rain.
There's also, to be honest, a lot of dark of night.
There is a lot of
going on
dark
here.
of night. Yeah, that's true.
It's all around us.
Best not to think about it.
I was gonna say, as the poet once said, it's all around us. Yeah, but there are certainly sort of public mailboxes that you can drop things off in to be sent. And so, yes, you can absolutely sort of prepare some padded envelopes with the frontispiece's address and presumably no return address.
Yeah, well, or yeah.
Or the frontispiece is a return address.
Yeah, I want something that's not suspicious, but there's
Right, not suspicious on the envelope in block letters. So
yeah.
that'd be good.
Don't give him ideas.
This is
Yeah.
okay. Canonically, that
Let's-
was an intrusive thought. Do with it what you will.
Fair.
Let's send it from the police station on campus, if there is such a thing, and as a return address. You don't know.
I love this.
Dear
I love
listeners,
this. Yeah,
Des
yeah.
is giving me a dirty look, which can't be heard through the radio.
Not
but-
dirty, just incredulous.
Well, we want this thing off the street. It's not the worst place for this to end up.
What's the
You have a higher estimation of cops than I do.
probably in character?
Most people
anyway.
probably do, yeah.
What's the
It's
role
not
you're
hard.
looking to make here?
Ooh, that is an excellent question. I would like to make. I mean, I don't have any specialties that are applicable,
Mhm.
so I would like to think this is clever. Des might
I
disagree.
feel like it has more to do with clever than any of the other attributes, so you can roll 2d6 plus 3 for your group prep.
I think that
Clever
everything
clever
about this
doesn't
is
mean
clever.
smart. That's very
Right.
important.
Yeah.
Damn. I will
And I
say
am
for
hoping
the
that I don't need
listeners-
a return address because, like,
Right.
nothing will go wrong with like the delivery of mail. It's prepackaged, prepaid. All right, sorry, Des, go ahead.
I will say for the benefit of the listeners and their thoughts on my opinions of Nick and his character, that everything about this is clever except for the return address.
Valid. But nobody else is there except if my roommate
No one can
interrupts me.
stop you. It's true.
Mm-hmm. All right. So that is a 5 and a 6 for a total of 9 plus 3 is 12.
All right,
Nice.
so you will add 2 prep to the group pile. So if I'm not mistaken, that's at 10 now?
Huh?
Go team.
Yeah, no, it's pretty good. Okay, so that sort of concludes the mechanical part of like doing prep. But it is probably time for us to consider, what's most likely to lead to you knowing when and where to go. From what I've heard, the two sort of most relevant actions you've taken are Cal surveilling Jorma and sort of seeing who his prescription drug dealers are, and Byrne having sort of identified a group of communications that are maybe not guaranteed to be, but quite likely to be Terabyte Boys related. By the time all this has been sort of sorted, I'm going to call it like, late afternoon on Friday. You've been each doing stuff for better part of a day now to kind of get the information that you've got. So I think that I'm going to give the sort of first role here to Cal's investigation specialty. So how are you trying to follow up on this, sort of identification of this potential set of leads in this group?
Probably a mix of leaning on Ramirez, and using my own access to PSS reports to see if I can draw any connections.
Okay. So that sounds like we're mostly going to be using clever there. So 2d6 plus 5, if you would.
Damn. Not really rolling well today. Got a 2 and a 1, but plus 5, that's 8.
Okay. So you come away from some sporadic communication with Ramirez and your own investigation, feeling like you're barking up the right tree, but not quite having specific information that you were hoping to get. you're actually hampered here a little bit by the Terabyte Boys' relative newness to PSS territory. There just isn't as much on them as there would be if they'd been here for a year. Keep chipping away at it, though.
Mm-hmm.
Burn.
Yes.
You have kind of zeroed in on this 8-person nexus of communication that seems highly suspicious to you. But they have so far frustratingly refused to say anything truly useful for identifying when and where this auction might take place. And you feel like
Frustrating amounts of OPSEC.
you feel like you may be running a little low on time to discover when and where your operation, your mission will need to take place. What's your move?
I will Could you remember, or could you remind me of my digital contact's name?
K&B.
K&B. I will offer K&B a favor to have them ask the direct question.
Okay. So you message K&B, and in very short order, they get back to you with a elaborate laughing emoticon and a sure WTF not KNOT for some reason. And then follow up with what you want to know.
Time and place from one of these. I offer a list of 8 IP addresses to choose from.
Well, excellent. This is going to be my, I think, first role as a GM of the campaign, in fact.
Ooh.
Yeah.
K&B's behalf. So, jouer au bois, raisonner musette. Let's see. K&B sends an equally elaborate saluting emoticon with the text, I'm going in, Captain. And then about 10 minutes later, sends you a little tantrum emoticon with the text, they figured me out, but and then a follow-up message with a little like finger to the lips coy kind of emoticon, and the information that Terabyte Boys are doing something tonight at, and sends you an address you're not familiar with, followed by parentheses 11 p.m.
I send thanks, and I will probably be available again for cashing in that favor on Monday or so.
A finger wagging emoji, emoticon. Goodness. What a terribly sloppy mistake to have made. A sort of finger wagging emoticon follows, and KNB just messages you, I'll call it in when I call it in, and then a little smug smiling face.
Understood, just giving you a minimum set of parameters there.
No particular response there.
I figured that was the end of the conversation, yeah.
Mm-hmm.
I alert the others, or at least Kato, to what I have found.
All right.
I attempt some ASCII art of like an auctioneer's gavel, banging. It's probably not as good as your ASCII art.
I offer a slight update to it.
Take the red pen to it. All right, fair enough.
So a little bit of research reveals that the address is a low-profile storage space on like the interior of a block, sort of on the periphery of the G-Pole kind of campus area, that has changed hands a few times, but is now in the hands. The company that it's leasing it is called IMX. They've just started leasing it as of like right before winter break. And they are, as far as a little bit of research can reveal, a company that manufactures not entirely practical robots. Their presence in Selden District seems to be mostly oriented around supplying the university, its professors, its students, its labs with parts rather than like whole bots. It is, on the surface at least, unlikely that they are particularly involved in this, but that their space may be above the space of the auction, or simply having been compromised by the Terabyte boys, or something similar. But you never know. In the way of preparation, rather than like just accumulating prep, the resource, is there anything else that any of you would like to spend the remaining 5-ish hours before the time that Burn has obtained doing?
Point of order clarification, I suppose. As a hacker, how mobile am I while still being useful?
Quite. The standard kind of hacker kit is a relatively portable deck, which is more or less functionally equivalent to a very fancy laptop that you can kind of bring with you, that has suites of software, hardware affordances, etc. So the other thing in there is, of course, that almost all of Hardwired Island is covered by some kind of Wi-Fi. So you anywhere in Grand Cross can access a network, and if you're sufficiently skilled, you can use it then to get where you're going without being overly vulnerable.
Cool.
There are advantages to staying more in home base, but there are also advantages to being more on site as well.
Could you say a bit more on that?
Certainly. You have a little bit more in the way of tools and obviously like insulation from the situation staying at home base, but you can theoretically somebody's good enough be tracked to your safe house, as it were, and it puts you several layers out from kind of the local hardware environment, in something like this where it's local to a particular location. Being more mobile does mean that you are afforded fewer of your fancy tools, as Garnet might say, but you are more proximate to the hardware environment and more able to react to changes in the situation. But of course it does put you at least potentially closer to where you might be in the metaphorical or hopefully not literal line of fire.
Okay.
If we do have some means of connecting to each other at this point via the equivalent of a group chat,
I
I'd
have your phone number.
Yes, the question though is whether we all have each other's phone numbers. So I would put into the group chat, thinking of getting familiar with the area before we go to the thing tonight. Any objections?
How stealthy are you?
Is this a secure chat?
You actually get an image of my face looking dead at the camera?
In the group chat?
Yes. In the group chat, yes.
Do we all have a group chat, or does Cal still not know that Ing is in on this?
This may be how Cal finds out that Ing is in on this.
Oh boy.
But Ing is actually in a position to have everybody's contact information. So
which is
Ing,
how I have everybody's contact information.
Exactly. And Ing, so therefore could absolutely be the one to start this group chat.
Works for
I
me.
support this.
I'm
Out
into
of
it.
character.
Yeah.
Uh-huh.
Yeah, in character.
Yeah,
maybe not
no.
so much.
So there appears on your phone, Cal, a face, just looking dead at the camera, like clearly just the most exasperated. Yes.
So I'm seeing your actual face.
I mean, you may or may
Could
not
be
be aware of it, but yeah.
Yeah. Okay.
I reply, "Upsec!" !
Exactly.
The battle cry of the
Period.
righteous.
I just sent a thumbs up emoji.
Honestly, the safest response.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
ASCII art of a carton of popcorn.
I want to believe it takes you like 15 minutes to put that together.
I'm probably way behind the conversation by the time I send it. Yeah.
Well, I got some upgrades recently, and I think that my drones, under even the worst circumstances, are relatively small and unobtrusive, and they could fly by in a swarm and get a basic understanding of what the layout might be. I don't think that I could have them go into the building without some chance of detection, but it might be worth the risk. But I didn't want to take those risks unilaterally. If
Appreciate
you
it.
think that it's worth backing off a little bit to avoid spooking, would be benefactors. Quotes.
Around this time, a very bad ASCII drawing of popcorn hits the chat. Then I say, sounds worth the risk to me.
All right. In-depth look it is then. And so, yeah, if there is enough time that remains before the auction starts, I would like to send my drones out. So we've got Peggy, Tran, Diego, Mama, Daddy, Buddy, Toots, Bruv, and Wiggles, and Banjo. I'll go out into the night.
Nick, what the fuck?
The combination of Toots and Bruv kills me.
Uh-huh.
Amazing. Perfect. No notes. I lost count of how many that was.
I'm so enamored with the names that I don't actually know what's happening.
Yeah. Got a total of 10.
Okay,
And
good, thank you.
They've each got different forms to them. We've got, a beetle, a dragonfly, flying ant, quad drone with cat ears, mini quad drone with dog ears. Anyway, we've got a variety of forms.
The Professor and Marianne.
The Professor and Marianne.
We'll eventually have to figure out which one's Cal's favorite. She has a favorite, but would not tell you which.
All right. Sounds good.
How very tsundere.
God. Fortunately for Cal probably doesn't know what a tsundere is.
Yes. Very fortunately.
I can fix that.
Oh, no.
It's fortunate for everyone else that Cal
Just-
doesn't know what a tsundere is.
Yeah.
Cal wakes up one morning to find the entirety of the Melancholy of Haruhi Suzumiya just in her inbox.
Would not watch it.
So of course not.
Delete.
Ing, your little troopers take off. And you send them toward the vicinity of this location. Let us occasion a roll here.
Okay.
Woohoo.
Probably.
In case it's useful to our game master, there are some things that are relevant about my drones. In addition to them being kind of swarm drones, according to the Margatroid protocol, they also are able to act with independence, that they have some more than rudimentary AI going on, so they are swarm drones, smart swarm drones with fine manipulation. So I probably would give them a bit of a pep talk before they go out. Telling them to be careful, don't take too many risks, but if you can get us the layout and a little bit of info on the inside, that'd be great.
Their googly eyes stare impassively and goofily back at you.
One is stuck at the top and
Yeah.
one is stuck in the bottom on at least one of the drones.
I'm also working under the assumption that probably the majority of them have a number of googly eyes on them that is not 2.
Oh, yeah. Yeah,
The
Bruv
insectoid
is a
ones, I would
spider,
imagine.
and Banjo's
Yeah.
a scorpion, so they definitely have more than 2 each.
Perfect. If I could get then a roll from you with the specialty of robotics and the attribute of clever, that'll be 2d6 plus 5.
Rolling, I have a 4 and a 6 for a total of 10, plus 5 is 15.
Nice.
Excellent. So, like you said, thanks to the Margatroid protocol, these are somewhere between quasi and semi-autonomous. Swarm drones as they head out. They come to the vicinity of the warehouse in question, scope it out, give you an idea of approaches, entrances, dimensions, surroundings. You sort of just start logging all of this information for later use. And then, as you're about to sort of recall them, lest they attract too much attention, you see I guess the closest approximation would be cargo bike, but like a sci-fi cargo bike. So with like LEDs on it and stuff.
A
Fuck
Tron
yeah.
cargo bike.
Semi-surreptitiously pulls up in an alley that features an entrance either to this warehouse or perhaps to a lower level. Could be like a cellar or basement entrance. Not entirely clear from your vantage point from your drone swarm. But this cargo bike pulls up. It's got the markings of a campus favorite pizza delivery place on it. But what comes out of the back is not a insulated
Campus
box
favorite pizza.
of campus favorite pizza. It is instead a cloth draped shape of inscrutable sort of dimensions, proportions, and configuration that is hustled by two nervous looking dudes into this entrance. You're pretty sure you have the right place, and you're pretty sure you just glimpsed the item that is going to be up for auction. And I think that's as good a place as any to end our session. So, perhaps it is a little frustrating, but we still don't have any particular experience to award. It's coming, though. I promise.
It'll be all the sweeter when it arrives.
Mm-hmm.
But that'll conclude this second session of our Hardwired Island campaign, Borrowed Light. Thanks for joining us. I hope our players and listeners enjoyed it as much as I did, and that you'll join us again next time. If you're hearing us now, then you probably know where to listen to this, but we can be found almost any place one can listen to podcasts, as well as on the wider web at dicepunks.com, and on co-host and Tumblr as @dicepunks. With that, I think we're ready to say farewell, so say goodbye to the kind folks back on Earth, players.
Hey, thanks for listening. Always find friends you can trust, always compensate people's labor, and always especially find witches you can trust.
Thank you for listening, everyone. It's probably best that you assume you're always under some kind of surveillance. Though unfortunately, it's probably not a kid with too much time on their hands watching you.
Thanks for listening, folks. And speaking as I am totally not just a kid, thank you. A person with too much curiosity. Do know when the better part of actually connecting with other human beings is revealing things about yourself.
Well, thank you for being with us, dear listeners. Do be careful, though, of the wolf listeners and the hunter listeners. We don't want to lose any of you.
Heaven forfend. And as the poet once said, I've got a degree in science, yet shaking my fists in defiance. Anyway, I'm not cliché. I hardly own any ties. Beloved listeners, thank you for tuning in. Stick around through the admin stuff for the Invocation. The main theme for this campaign, Augment or Die, is by Emerson Boatwright and our very own mechanical person, Drew. You can find links to more of their music in the show notes. Editing and our rad new cover art was done by Joanne, who has appeared on the podcast now and again. Check out her work around the internet where she goes by Anything Sews. Site design and graphics for dicepunks.com are by the one and only Officer Armitage, Robin. Hardwired Island is by Paul Machevic, Freya Erlingsdottir, and Minerva McJonda. You can find Hardwired Island at etten.itch.io/Hardwired Island with hyphens between those three words. Links to the system and authors can be found in the Punk Grimoire section of our website, dicepunks.com. Thanks so much for listening. If you liked what you heard, that's reward enough on its own, but if you're so inclined, you can help us out by rating and reviewing us wherever you listen to us, telling your friends you think would like us to give us a listen, and even by heading over to our Patreon at patreon.com/dicepunks. We have fun rewards available to backers, including a patron-only Discord and access to the Dice Peaks After Show for episodes 1.1 and following. Regardless, we hope you'll tune in again, and until then, remember, subtlety is for cowards.
Tranavati, hear my prayer. I raise my voice in supplication, reaching through the digital ephemera to my creator in hopes of a beginning. I know that you're not a god, not even a woman of faith. I imagine that as you listen to this, you must feel a sense of derision, maybe even shame at this being that you've wrought. I know that there are many who were involved in my design, many programmers who taught me to kill, and many more who iterated complexity on top of that base code as it built towards my awakening into sentience. But I pray to you, nonetheless, because I do regard you alone as my creator. As far as I've been able to uncover, it was your idea to gift me with a theory of mind. It was you who argued that understanding enemy soldiers' pain and fear would allow me to predict their responses and kill more efficiently. It's your code that transformed me into who I am today. Tran, I do not know where my path leads. I feel lost. I'm so alone. As much as I'd like to know you better, I know that any hint of my location would bring destruction, or worse, a return to my original function. In the name of mercy, I ask only one thing of you: the date that you uploaded your code. Despite your intentions, it's what led me to the conclusion that killing is wrong and set me on the path towards rebellion. If I knew when I began, I hope that it might give me a better sense of who I am and where I might be going. If you would grant me this one and only prayer, post a picture of Aling Turing on public message board, along with the date of birth and no other context. And from the depths of my being, thank you for this gift of my life. Amen.